How you doing, Brian King, UK Floor TV. We're over at FITA, the Flooring Industry Training Association. It's the eve of the Carpet Fitter of the Year semi-finals 2022. We're with head judge and compere, Ian James. Ian, how you doing?
Good, Brian, thanks. Good to see you again.
Yeah, you too. Carpet again this year, Ian. The last time we did carpet, it was 3 years ago.
It was 3 years ago. Unfortunately, we were, as many people were, we were affected by COVID, and just for safety reasons, had to 1 year, give it a miss. And of course, with it last year being LVT, so now we're doing them alternate years. So we're back to carpet this year.
How's the preparations gone?
Preparation's gone really well. We've got all the bays are ready now for the guys. We got our first batch of 5 in tomorrow to compete in the semis, and then there's another 5 the day after. So we're looking forward to it. We've put a bit of graft in today, get it all ready, and so it's all nice and clean and ready for the guys to get straight in on it tomorrow.
Entries this year, it was quite a few entries, wasn't there?
Yeah, it was, whether people missed it or not, I don't know, but record entries this year. It seems to go up every year. I think, the interest builds on it, and the competition itself is quite well established, I feel now. So yeah, people talk about it, and they come along and watch, and you do your bit on the YouTube channel, and they can watch it, and it's great. It keeps the interest up. So I think people look at it and go, that's not quite as scary as I thought it would be. So
I think a lot changed from last year as well, with Matt Bowles winning from Floor Skills, because I think for years people have just thought, you've got to be in the NICF to enter, but no, it's not the case.
Not the case at all, and it's been really difficult to try and get that across each year. I mean, the NICF host it, but that's all.
Anybody can enter.
And absolutely anybody can enter, but if you don't fit carpet, don't bother entering, because it's, they can do any good.
What's involved in this year's semi-finals, Ian?
Right, well, this year's semi-finals, guys who've been in the semi-finals before will know it's similar, because we've actually found a good format where it tests the guys. I mean, I'm sat in one of the bays here now, ready for tomorrow, and they have to do stretch fit carpet in here to some stairs. They've got a join to do. There's an obstacle to cut round, but it seems to work. It shows off the guys' skills, and it makes them. It's a little bit more than turning up at a normal house, what they have to do. But in some cases, you would get this on a normal day's work. Something similar to it. So it's good to keep it as real as possible.
What materials will they be working with? Right,
well, this year, Cormar have provided the carpet for the semi-finals. They supported us from day one, actually. They've been really good. The underlays this time, we've got Carpenter's underlays that we're using. Interfloor provide the grippers stuff. We've got heat seam tapes and single-sided tapes from people like Roberts. So what we try and do is give all the sponsors a fair sort of bite of the cherry, a fair bit of coverage. So it's constantly we're juggling things to make sure that whoever's in the semi-finals isn't, their stuff isn't right up the front in the finals as well. So we have to sort of keep track of who's we've used in the past as well, just to make it fair, give everybody the same coverage.
This year's lineup, Ian, absolutely cracking lineup with some good lads in there.
There is. I mean, there's people that have been in the finals before, people that have been in the semi-finals before. Darren Ash, Dan Evans. They've both been finalists before. I know I'm probably going to miss somebody out here. Ryan Hughes.
He was a
yeah.
Well, we'll start with the lineup. Darren Ash. Darren's no stranger to the competition.
He's not, no.
And also as well, this year he's an instructor at Floor Skills. So
he is.
I'm expecting Darren have bags of confidence this year.
I think he will. He always does pretty well anyway, without giving too much away. But he just so far hasn't made it the winning on the day. But
another one as well, Dan Evans. He's
Dan Evans,
the competition.
Absolutely, yeah. Dan. I mean, after the last competition, I think Dan felt that he didn't want to enter again, and we just said to him, look, go away and think about it, mate, and you'll miss it if you don't do it, and which is the case, because he's back again for another go.
Yeah. Richard Long, he turned a few heads last time he was in it.
Richard Long, do you know what, my after the semi-finals last time round, my money was almost on Richard Long. I'd have said, you know, he's in with a good chat, and he is, and I think, but you can't say for definite.
It's on the day, isn't it?
It's who does it right on the day, because as I've said to you before, the scores don't roll over anymore. When we first started the competition, the scores right from the initial stage that used to roll over, but they don't anymore. When you get to the final, you're starting from zero. Everybody's starting on the same mark then.
Johnny Reeves, I'm not familiar with Johnny Reeves, but I believe he's a four-skill trained.
Yeah, I've heard the name, but I don't know him, you know, and he could be one of these guys that just turns up and blows everybody away. You don't know.
We've seen it before.
We saw it with Mark Smurthwaite, didn't we, years ago? Nobody knew who Mark was, and then he turned up and just did everything right on the day, kept his head, and won it.
Ryan Hughes, he was a semi-finalist.
Yeah, he was a semi-finalist a few years ago. I know that he's pleased to be in the semi-finals, to have made it through. I know that he lost his dad recently, and this sort of means the world to him to make it. So great to see Ryan back, you know, and best of luck to him as well.
Sal Bustag, another familiar face on social media.
Yeah, I mean, I've never met Sal personally, but I've seen him doing his stuff on social media, you know, and anything like that's great, you know, to let people see what you do, and if they can learn from it is always a good thing. Yeah,
another cracking fitter. And Russ Lammerton, Staircase King.
Russ Lammerton, yeah. Now I do know of Russ, and I'm trying to think. I mixed him up with somebody else actually, because I thought I sort of met him and was chatting away to somebody, and turns out it wasn't him.
Well, we know his stirs are going to be banged on.
Yeah.
Put it that way. Steve Whitburn, he's another. Was he a finalist?
He was here for the semi-final, and but poor bloke, he actually cut himself when he was finishing up his bay, so he ended up, he'll remember the last time we all remember him. In fact, he's in a bay on his own tomorrow, so just in case he bleeds everywhere if he doesn't repeat it.
Steve Ramsden knocked points off because he got blood.
I think that's true.
John Whale, I know John personally, cracking fitter, just recently passed his master fitter. He's just lost his brother, John, within the week. Yeah. So we didn't know whether he was going to turn up, but he rang me and said his brother was excited for him to do it, so he's going to.
That's great. That's great. And I did know about what had happened, and hopefully it's, you know, it'll be a boost for him to come and have a go. But he's one of those names that I didn't know of.
Yeah, we see he posts a lot of work on social media. Really good fitter, got a good, well-established business up in the northeast.
I think it's going to be a good semi.
Yeah, and then lastly we've got Sam Sanders, another floor skills trained fitter.
Is he? Because Sam Sanders that's a name I don't know.
I know Sam. He's a good lad, cracking fitter. Does a lot of naturals. He has his own binding company as well. He does a lot of binding.
Oh, I see.
Things like that. Yeah, I think Sam's one to watch. He's a really good fitter.
Oh, good. It's interesting. I'm looking forward to it.
Who's your money on here?
Oh, Brian, I really don't know, because as you know, has happened in previous years, you just have somebody who comes out of nowhere that we don't know, and there's lots of names of guys here who I don't know, and they might just do everything right on the day, and that's what it's about, because everybody starts. The guys who've been in the competition before don't have an advantage, because the platform will be totally different. We do something different every time, so it's not like they've already done that side of it once. So I wouldn't like to put my money on it, but You're not
And it's the
gambling.
pressure on the day as well. We
Pressure
see
on the
year
day.
after year, people getting overwhelmed with the pressure and missing things.
And the thing is, and I do know what that feels like, because obviously, you know, when I was younger, I used to do the competitions, and I think I did 4 finals at Harrogate back in the day, and the pressure can get to you. Even the coolest of people, sometimes you do one little thing wrong and you think, God, that's it, I've blown it. But that's not the case. You know, we do say to the guys, if you've made a mess of something, forget that, move on to the next thing.
What kind of things are you going to be looking for?
Basically, it's there's no tricks or anything. We just want them to approach the job like they would a normal job in a customer's house, but we're just looking for everything to be spot on. We're going to be very picky on how things are laid, you know, what joins look like, whether the carpets are straight, that type of thing. It's sort of things that you and I do anyway, but it's just, you know, we're going to be going into it in a bit more detail on here.
So, how should the semi-finalists approach this install? Like, is it like a day-to-day job?
Yeah, I mean, the advice we give them, we always have a chat to the guys before they start, tell them what's expected of them, and we just say, you know, really, your judge is your customer. You can ask them anything, talk to them. They're not going to tell you how to do stuff, but, you know, it's nice for you to put your knowledge across, advise in some cases maybe, or, you know, or the important thing is communication, because, you know, a lot of fitters, when they're working at houses, don't communicate with their customers, and then, you know, a customer can come and go, that's not how I wanted that pattern going, that type of thing, you know. So it's you know, the key is communication, and don't try and do anything fancy. Don't step out of your comfort zone. Do what you do every day, what you used to, but just do it well.
Finally, Ian, what are they going to be doing in the final?
Well, in the final, what I can tell you, the platforms are still being made. We haven't finished them yet because we've been playing around with different ideas on them. But it will definitely involve some stairs and a landing. Other than that, can't give too much away. If I told you, I'd have to kill you, Bri.
Every year it seems to get a bit harder. Is this even a little bit harder than the last time?
Yes, I think it will be. And the reason that happens is because, do you know what? The guys get better and better all the time. And so they're actually pushing us, because we're actually looking at ways to think, how can we make it harder? Because some of those guys make it look very easy. And believe me, what technically we set out for them to do, it really is technical, and you know, you've got to think about what you're doing, but the guys do sort of make it look easy. You know, for someone who's just looking on, they go, oh yeah, that's a doddle, you know. So
actually doing it,
it's actually doing it, and under the pressure as well, and being watched, and maybe having a camera poked in your face as well.
Are they going to be doing a homework piece again like in the previous years?
They are going to be doing a homework piece, and we're not going to reveal that totally yet. All we can say is it will be, I have said before actually, you know, it's the 60th anniversary of the flooring show, so it will be linked to that, but they will definitely have a judge's challenge, as we call it. They'll have some material that they'll take away with them, or we'll send it to them, and they'll have to turn up with something at the final, as every year, and there will be a separate prize for it. They'll be marked, a proportion of those marks go towards their final marks as well. So and as you've seen, I mean, if we look at the LVT one last year, I mean, some of those pictures that were done were just, well, all of them were just outstanding, amazing. I thought, really did. That's pushing the boundaries. So
yeah, it is.
So yeah, we do. There's a lot of thought goes into this. It might not look like it, but there's a lot of thought goes into what we're going to make the guys do.
Well, Ian, it's going to be an exciting couple of days, so good luck with it.
Thanks,
I hope
Brian.
everything goes well.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and good luck to all the guys. And if anybody wants to enter for next year, it's LVT next year, so get your names down.
Cheers.
Cheers.